This video is about what does it take to get a first round hit with a cold bore at 1 mile. I'm using my 30-06 208 grain burger, and it's leaving at just over 2,750 feet a second. That first shot you saw was from the last time I was out. The last morning I went out and took cold bore shot at it, just missed, made an adjustment here to dial in the scope to be able to make this video. From that point on, I never touched the gun. I did not make a scope adjustment or anything. I did not clean the gun. I keep the gun in the truck so that the temperature of the gun will be similar to the ambient temperature for when I come up here and shoot. Okay, I'm going to apologize right now. Some of the mornings, because of the time of year that I'm shooting, the sun is almost coming up directly behind the target, so it's making it kind of hard for the target's camera. The ballistic program I'm using is JBM Ballistics program. It is a website that you can go to, and they have ballistic calculators there, and that's what I use. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, the three things that I'm entering into JBM Ballistics website every morning is the temperature, barometric pressure, and humidity. When I do the calculations, well, everything I go off is going off of 100 yards. Since the gun is sighted in for 100 yards, everything I do is going to be based off of 100 yards. When I type in all the information, it's going to come back and give me a number of how high I need to be at 100 yards. And it seems to me it's around 72 inches, 73 inches, in that range, 74. So when I come out and say, okay, JBM's website at 100 yards tells me I need to be 71.2 inches high, I'm going to be making an adjustment based off of where it was the day before. This is a milliradian scope. 1 mil at 100 yards equals 3.6 inches. 1 MOA at 100 yards equals 1.047 inches. I will be shooting at the left target. The left target is 12 inches wide, 18 inches tall. The center target is a full-size silhouette plate. Okay, so this is some of the stuff that I'm dealing with. According to my note, extreme spread on velocity is 2742 to 2766. The difference becomes 1.6 inches. And 1.6 inches at 100 yards equates at 1790 to about 28.8 inches. So based off of the height of this target, I'm guaranteed alone that I'm not going to be able to get a hit every day because of the velocity difference. Some are going to be low, some are going to be high, some will be all over the target. Now also, the other thing that I have to worry about is what is the accuracy of this gun. This gun shoots about half inch, half MOA at 100 yards. Multiply that by 17.9 because it's 1790 yards. That works out to a 9-inch group. So you take that 9-inch group, add it to the 28.8 inch because of the velocity variance. Now I'm at 7 inches, which is over twice the height of this target. So now, because of the accuracy of the gun, I now have potential for even more misses every day. Now, as far as the wind goes, for every 1 mile an hour wind on a 90-degree crosswind, the bullet will move just over 20 inches. So right now, this target's 12 inches wide. Everything I'm doing, I'm going for dead center on the target, which means all I got to do is miscall the wind by less than 1/3 of a mile an hour, and it'll move me off this target. But one of the problems I have for calling the wind is, at the apex of the arc, out here at a mile, the bullet path rises up to about 38 feet above the line of sight. Now as I went along, somewhere along the line, I introduced my lab radar to it all. Because of what was going on, I had to start knowing about velocity. Enjoy the shooting portion of the video. This morning it's 53 degrees, 30.01 on the barometric pressure adjusted for altitude, 37% humidity. JBM's website says I need to be 73.9 inches high at 100 yards. Now, the wind starts blowing and then it slows down. I read it as fast as 5.6 miles an hour on here. It gets down to like 1.7 miles an hour. It seems to be more coming at me, and then at times it's coming at a pretty sharp angle. So what I did is I punched in 4 miles an hour, a 30-degree angle, and JBM's website says I need to be 3.1 MOA to the left at 790 yards, which that target is away, which 3.6 inches or 3.6 MOA real close is 1 milliradian. So what I'm going to do as the wind picks up here, My plan is to catch it to slow down a little bit, and then I'm going to hold 1 mil right edge on the target. Holy moly, that went way left. Today it's 50 degrees, 30.05 on the barometric pressure adjusted for altitude, 47% humidity. Today, JBM's website says I need to be 74.5 inches high at 100 yards. At 100 yards. So yesterday it was 73.9, so I need to come up 0.6. Now 2/10 is 0.72 of a milliradian. So I came up 2/10 of a milliradian. So I came up 0.72, 1.12 times 1.8. I came up about 2 inches down there, I guess. But I'm not going to take it into consideration. I'm going to do center hold on elevation. I feel a little bit of a breeze behind me. I was not able to get my wind speed indicator to actually measure it this morning. I see a little bit of movement left to right. So I'm going to aim just off of left edge. Today it's 57 degrees, 30.10 on the barometric pressure adjusted for altitude, 47% humidity. JBM's website says I need to be 73.7 inches high at 100 yards. Yesterday it was 74.5. So 2/10 of a milliradian equals 0.72. I need to come down 0.8. So what I did is came down 2. It's pretty calm right now. I'm not getting much of a read from the mirage. Pretty much going for it. Today it's 60 degrees, 30.12 on the barometric pressure, 43% humidity. JBM's website says I need to be 73.4 inches high at 100 yards. Yesterday it was 73.7, so I need to come down 0.3 of an inch, and 1/10 of a milliradian equals 0.36 of an inch. So I came down 1/10 of 1 milliradian. It's pretty calm this morning. I don't think I really see anything in the mirage. Well, going to give it a center hold. Yeah, down goes Frazier. Thunk. I heard the thunk come back. Yeah, baby, first round cold bore hit. This morning it's 65 degrees, 30.00 on the barometric pressure adjusted for altitude, 38% humidity. JBM's website says I need to be 72.7 inches high at 100 yards. Yesterday it was 73.4. The hit on the target was really low and a couple inches right of center. But I'm not going to take that into consideration. So, but yesterday it was 73.4, today it's 72.7, so I need to come down 2/10 of a milliradian, which equals 0.72 of an inch. I can feel a little bit of air movement. The mirage is not telling me anything. Do I go with the center hold? Well, because I feel a little bit of slight movement on my right cheek. Do I shade left slightly? Right into it. I'm going to give it a right edge hold. I should have gave it a little bit more. Today is 44 degrees, 29.93 on the barometric pressure adjusted for altitude, 59% humidity. JBM's website says I need to be 74.7 inches high at 100 yards. Last time I shot it was 72.7 inches high. So I had to come up a full 2 inches. Now 6/10 of a milliradian, if my math is correct, is 2.16 of an inch at 100 yards. So that's 0.16 of an inch, and multiply that by 17, and so I might be like 3 inches high of center. I'm going to leave it alone because I think I was hitting low. Oh God, I hope I remember right. Now the thing is today is there is a wind and a breeze blowing. And I measured it at about 3 miles an hour when it slows down, and I measured it as high as 5 miles an hour. And it's pretty much coming left to right, you know, almost at a perfect 90-degree angle. So JBM's website says for every mile an hour wind, I need to move 20.4 inches into the wind. Now, at 1,790 yards, I think it's 64.4 inches equals 1 milliradian. So 3 miles an hour says I need to come over 61.2 inches. A full milliradian is 64.4 inches. And like I said, it's slowing down to 3, and then it's picking up to more. I'm trying to decide here, do I shade off of a full mill, or I just say the heck with it and give it a full mill? Because what I'm afraid of, even with a full mill, it's not going to be enough. Because when the bullet gets up into the apex of its flight, there might be more wind there. I'm giving it 1 1/4 mil left. Ooh, the wind call wasn't too bad. Okay, this morning it's 44 degrees, 30.06 on the barometric pressure adjusted for altitude, 61% humidity. JBM website says I need to be 73.7 inches high at 100 yards. I came down 3/10 of a milliradian. Yesterday it was 74.7 inches, so that's 1 inch. I came down 3/10 of a milliradian, which should equal 1.08 inches. Now, I've got a pretty good breeze blowing this morning, but it's pretty much behind me. I punched in 10 mile an hour and it's blowing, now let me get this straight here. For every mile an hour, it's only going to move it 0.28 of an inch. Basically, I need to aim just slight of center, but I still need to be pretty much aiming center on the target. So this is going to be interesting. I do not really see any mirage. So that's good. It won't talk me out of what the plan is. The plan is to aim slightly left of center, despite the fact that I've got a 3 to 6 mile an hour wind that's shifting around. But it clearly, according to the math, says it's not going to move it left and right very much. Okay, day 8 became a real good lesson learning day for me. The first thing is I did my calculations. I had the wind coming from right to left at about a 30-degree angle. I had the wind speed down, punched my numbers in, turned the cameras on, said my piece to the cameras, got behind the gun, and the mirage is going left to right. It should have been going right to left. So I stopped, and I noticed that I could feel a little breeze on my cheek, a little breeze on my neck, because it wasn't moving very quickly. So I recalculated, and come to find out, it was going to be the same hole, but it was to the left, because what I read before, like I said, was about 30 degrees. Suddenly it was 30 degrees coming from left to right. So I made my calculations, did my piece to the camera, made the shot, and it's bad. Basically, I miscalculated by about a milliradian, which is at that distance is over 5 feet. So I got up, turned the cameras off, and I go, you know, I got to know what's going on here. That was so bad. So I turned the cameras back on, and I sent a second shot down there just based off of what the first shot did. And sure enough, it moved me way over just to the left of the target, but it showed me that the wind was slowing down a little bit. And I kept shooting. And also what I did is I was recording every one of the velocities that was coming off of the bullet. Because basically I'm trying to figure out right now, is velocity really going to hit low? If it's slow, if it's fast, is it really going to hit high? Today it's 51 degrees, 30.01 on the barometric pressure adjusted for altitude, 49% humidity. JBM's website says I need to be 73.0 inches at 100 yards, of which I went the wrong way. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yesterday it was 73.7. So I need to come down 0.7 of an inch. 2/10 of a milliradian equals 0.72 of an inch. So I came down 2/10 of a milliradian. I hit the large plate. For the record, I'm aiming a whole mill to the left. Actually, that was right edge mill. So now it's slowing down. Mill and a half left. 27.53. Half a mill right. $27.84. Half a mill left. $27.72. 3/4 of a mill left. $68. 3/4 left. Down goes Frazier. That was 77. 3/4 of a mill left, going after the right one. Whoa, 96. Half mill left edge. Down goes Frazier. That was 64. Half a mill left edge. Wow, 27.52. You know, the Mirage is now moving right to left. Dead center. That was a right edge hold. Boom, got it. 67, ding. All right, what I learned from this video is this shot taught me some things. One of the things is I am always going to be shooting with my lab radar now or chronograph. It's a done deal. I mortgaged the house, got a second job, and I bought me a Kestrel so that I'm going to always be able to know what the humidity is, the barometric pressure, and the temperature. So basically when I'm shooting, is the warmer temperature, how is it going to have effect on initial velocity, and also does it have a bit of an effect on downrange impact? Not just the velocity difference, but the fact that it's warmer and how it affects the internal ballistics of the gun. Basically from the time the bullet leaves the chamber to when the bullet leaves the barrel. That's the internal ballistics. But anyway, for me, this was a very educational video to make. I've learned a lot, and I'm going to be applying that for my shooting now going forward. I'm also going to be working on my load from now on, because I found out in the making of this, it's not just about having the smallest group. It's also about having the most, minimize the extreme spread. To give you an idea right now, shooting half MOA with a extreme spread of 7 feet per second, between the slowest and the fastest down there, make a difference of 9 inches in elevation. So with the half MOA, which is 9 inches down there, and that 9-inch difference in spread, I will be able to keep 100% of the bullets on this target if I do everything correct, calling the wind. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to keep the extreme spread where I want. So there's going to be a combination of what I do, and then it's going to come down to, it's not going to be 100% hit if I call the wind right, but at least I'm going to have a high percentage of potential for hits. Thanks for watching.